is KCAL News, Los Angeles.
Right now, rain dumping in parts of SoCal tonight. We're tracking the wet weather and snow up in our local mountains. One win away, Dodgers take Game 3 of the World Series. We have live team coverage from LA to the Bronx. And new reaction from Hollywood tonight after Governor Gavin Newsom proposes a lifeline for the entertainment industry. Will it save local jobs? Good evening, everyone. I'm Juan Fernandez. Let's get right to KCAL meteorologist Evelyn Taft with the rain. Ev.
Yeah, that's right. You said it, rain. It's in the forecast. It's been in the forecast, and it's finally here. We're catching some of it on radar right now. In fact, some heavier showers coming in over San Bernardino. We've seen some snow showers as well above 6,000 feet. And as we get a look at the current radar, again, this is where we are at the moment. This is what we're seeing. Rain, heavier rain, closer to Ontario, San Bernardino along the 10 right there. And we've also seen a few snow showers. We're going to continue to see that chance as we move through the next little bit. Let's zoom in on this right here. And you're seeing a lot of yellow from Etiwanda to Devore, Fontana. We're continuing to see heavier showers come through along the 210 corridor there and the 15 as well. So that rain, that tropical moisture that we've been talking about has materialized, and we're seeing it tonight. We're also still looking at very gusty conditions. We're going to have more on the wind and that rain that's with us. And the question is, will it stick around? Coming up in a little bit. Juan, back to you.
To Torres. Bouncing ball towards the middle. Edman with a spin and a throw. And the Dodgers dominate Game 3.
An exciting finish for Game 3 of the World Series. The Dodgers beat the Yankees 4-2, and Dodger fans were jumping for joy at Legends Restaurant and Sports Bar in Long Beach tonight. We have live team coverage for you tonight, starting with KCAL News reporter Lori Perez live in Long Beach with a closer look at the team's superstars. Lori.
Well, Juan, it is still echoing in here, all the cheering and chanting just moments ago as the Dodgers closed out Game 3 with another win. But this one was not without some anxious moments, basically every time Ohtani was up.
You know, Ohtani, do not steal, please. We need you in the lineup. Don't go.
Dodger fans want to win, but not at all costs, especially if the cost is their superstar getting seriously hurt. They're used to holding their breath every time Shohei Ohtani is on the field, usually because they're anticipating a big play, of which there have been many.
Ohtani sends one in the air, deep right field. He's in a world of his own. Ohtani sends one in the air, the other way, back it goes.
Tonight, though, it was out of worry about his partially dislocated shoulder. This Game 2 moment, when he hurt it, still tough to watch.
I'm sure he'll make good decisions, but, you know, we're just going to have to watch and see. Like, he's been cleared, but anything could happen.
When I saw that he got hurt, I was a little nervous. I was like, oh, my God, freaking out internally.
If the coach trusts him, then that means he's good to play. But as she said, like, hopefully he doesn't overexert himself. But yeah, I'm confident.
You know who they're not worried about? Freddie Freeman, who is on a streak. This Long Beach crowd erupted when he hit his first inning homer. He's gone deep in every World Series game so far, and the Dodger faithful are delirious.
Hey, sometimes that's all it is. Baseball is a streaky game. When you're hot, and he's hot.
He is hot. Hernandez is hot. Ohtani did not get hurt. The Dodgers are up 3-0 with the possibility of winning it all tomorrow. There is a lot to be happy about for the Dodger Nation. I'm guessing tomorrow there are going to be a lot of sick calls or maybe some early exits from work in order to see the game, including here. This place is going to be packed tomorrow. We are live in Long Beach. I'm Lori Perez. Back to you.
Yep, one more game to go. Lori, thank you. While the Dodgers can't be stopped, the Blue Crew on the verge of their first World Series title since 2020. Jamie Mazzu is here with more. And Jamie, fans were hoping we'd see it in 4. They might get it.
It's looking like they might get it. I mean, the Yankees have looked absolutely lifeless outside of that first game, but pitcher Walker Buehler making his third career World Series start, and he did not disappoint tonight in Game 3. But it was actually the offense that got things going early for the Dodgers. Not a must-win for the Yankees, but it really did feel that way. Shohei Ohtani in the lineup, and you can see he's got the sling on in intros. First inning, LA's Game 1 hero strikes again. Ohtani's on base, and Freddie Freeman goes yard for the 5th straight World Series game, 2-zip Dodgers. All right, let's go third inning, same score. Man on second from Mookie Betts, a flare to right. And that's going to drop. LA gets another run. Tommy Edman turns on the burners. It's 3-0 Dodgers. Walker Buehler, fantastic for LA tonight. He is a defensive gem. Giancarlo Stanton rounds third. Looking to get the Yankees on the board here in fourth, but he is gunned down by Teoscar Hernandez. Look at that throw. My goodness. There's that kind of night for LA. 4-2, the final score.
Walker was Walker in October. You know, Walker wants the big game. He wants the ball in the big game, and you know, time in, time out, he shows up. He shows up, and he gives us innings. And today, you know, he was able to go 5 and get the W.
For me, I think the playoffs or big games has kind of always been the only thing I really cared about, and I was kind of awful all year, and I think once you get to the playoffs, the adrenaline, the momentum, I think whatever fear I had about my elbow or trying to throw a certain pitch or whatever goes away.
The most important thing is what you said, one more win. That's all I care about right now. I don't care how it happens. I just want to get one more win.
All right, one more win away is all it's going to take. Coming up later this hour, we're going to have a live report from our Jim Hill with reaction from the Dodgers clubhouse, and I think it's going to be some good vibes in there, Juan.
No doubt. All right, Jamie, thanks so much. All right, we'll have continuing coverage, as Jamie's saying, of all the World Series action. Stay right here with KCAL News and KCALnews.com for the very latest, and we're streaming 24/7 on CBS News Los Angeles. Now to this, Hollywood aiming for a comeback almost a year after the strikes ended. The governor announcing a massive new package of tax rebates to jumpstart production, which has taken a huge hit here in Southern California. But industry experts worry even these financial incentives may not be enough. KCAL political reporter Tom Wade is here now to explain. Tom.
And Juan, we know how important the entertainment industry is here in Southern California, and the reverberations of it when it's not doing well really affect a lot of people. Yes. So one industry expert tells me tonight Hollywood is a ghost town. And while the incentives, as Juan said, could provide a critical boost, a host of other factors could complicate a comeback. It's been almost a year since the Hollywood strikes ended, but in their aftermath, Hollywood has not recovered. Production has taken a massive hit.
Hollywood has become a ghost town. Let's just be honest.
Deadline executive editor Dominic Patton explains Hollywood is in turmoil. Patton broke the story of Governor Gavin Newsom's announcement Sunday, where Newsom said he will push the state legislature to approve a massive increase in film and TV tax credits from $330 million a year to around $750 million.
The reality is states like Georgia with an uncapped incentive program, which goes up to $1.2 billion some years, with New York having increased theirs by $280 million last year to $700 million, and dozens of other states, which often gets forgotten. People are leaving the state. People are having to move. Families are being broken up.
In making the announcement, Newsom also acknowledged the grim reality facing Hollywood.
The industry here is increasingly on life support, and it needs a pattern interrupt. We need a jolt.
Executive producer Patrick Caligiuri, who worked on shows like Big Brother and Amazing Race, says the incentives are good news, but Hollywood faces a slew of other issues.
It helps, for sure, but it's a Band-Aid on a much deeper wound. So while it may get production going in Los Angeles, the other problems that the industry is facing right now is the dilution of viewership across the board, that more eyes are going towards social media, towards TikTok, towards Instagram Reels, and not watching television programming quite like they did before. The other issue is that these networks are still outsourcing outside of the United States, not to just Georgia or New York, but they're filming in places like Ireland and Eastern Europe to get around the union laws.
Actor Jason Koh says he's also seeing the major impact reduced production is having.
I have been very privileged. I'm in the unique position of I just need to worry about focusing on finding union acting work instead of finding a survival job. But it is tough. It has been tough. This is not actor per se, but if you look at Teamsters and IATSE workers, a lot of them saying like they have to move to a completely different part of the country just because California, if we're just talking about California, has getting so tremendously expensive to live in.
Many other businesses are impacted too. We spoke with the owner of a prop house who says the proposed rebates are good news, but worries they may come too late. Businesses are still reeling from the strikes and from less TV and film shooting currently in LA.
The dry cleaners who fix costumes for the sets, the guys who supply the lumber for the production designers, the people who supply the computers for the graphic artists, things like that.
Now, the state legislature will have to approve the new rebates, and if they do, it won't be until around next summer before they would all take effect. So, Juan, obviously a lot of moving parts here, but state leaders are recognizing the crisis that Hollywood's facing.
And it sounds like this is one of those things where only time will tell, so we'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah,
right?
hopefully it will do something, because something needs to be done.
It's needed. All right, Tom, thank you. New here at 9, Capitol Police and other federal agencies conducting what we're told is a routine training exercise on the ground of the U.S. Capitol tonight. It happens to come hours before Vice President Kamala Harris plans to deliver her campaign closing arguments in Washington, D.C. Only 8 days now until the election, and both candidates are pulling out all the stops in battleground states. CBS News polls shows them neck and neck. KCAL News reporter Danya Backus has the latest from the campaign trail.
At a rally in Atlanta, former President Donald Trump had good things to say about his controversial rally Sunday night.
I mean, we filled up Madison Square Garden last night. We could have filled it up 10 times.
The New York City event included a steady stream of vitriol and incendiary jokes. Comedian Tony Hinchcliffe has drawn the most controversy.
There's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah, I think it's called Puerto Rico.
After the rally, the Trump campaign said the joke does not reflect the views of the former president. Monday, the campaign told CBS News they struck other offensive jokes from his set ahead of time. Hinchcliffe has refused to apologize despite widespread condemnation from Puerto Rican political leaders, celebrities, and voters.
The comments that happened yesterday, I finally said, no, I have to be in the right side of the history.
Puerto Ricans are American citizens, and there are millions that live in battleground states. Both candidates are vying for the Latino vote, and a new CBS News poll shows the race is a dead heat, so little fluctuations could make a difference. Vice President Kamala Harris condemned the joke and released a new ad reminding viewers about Trump's response to Hurricane Maria in 2017. Monday night, she rallied in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
So either it's Donald Trump sitting in there, stewing over his enemies list, or me, with your help, working for you, checking off my to-do list.
Nearly 45 million Americans have already cast a ballot, including President Biden Monday in Delaware and 40% of eligible voters in Georgia. But data from Pennsylvania shows fewer voters have cast early ballots so far compared to 2020. Danya Backus, KCAL News.
I'm assignment editor Mike Rogers at the desk. Still to come here at 9, a crime crackdown in the city of San Bernardino. Why the state is stepping in. Juan?
All right, Mike, plus a federal warning about election violence as multiple ballot boxes are set on fire. What's being done to protect your vote? Developing news tonight, the search is on in Laverne. Police looking for the suspect involved in a shooting in Diamond Bar this morning. The CHP says a man was killed at a park and ride lot near the 57 and Pathfinder Road, and his passenger was injured. The victim tried getting away after the shooting but lost control and crashed before taking off. So far, no arrests have been made. The 15 freeway is back open in the Cajon Pass after a shooting caused a closure for hours today. This happened with a road rage confrontation between a black Volvo SUV and a Ford F-350. The driver of the Volvo pulled a gun and shot at the Ford, hitting him in the leg. Both cars kept driving before colliding. Investigators say the Volvo then hit another vehicle that flipped over. The two trucks stopped. The driver of the Volvo did not, and the rest of the commuters were stuck in the aftermath.
I cried the whole time. It was insane.
It was horrible. I'm scared. I call my husband. I call 911. I'm just following these trucks.
The drivers of the pickup trucks were taken to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators are still looking for the driver of the Volvo SUV, who appeared to be in his 20s. Tonight, the CHP is stepping in to help an Inland Empire city deal with its high crime. KCAL News assignment editor Mike Rogers is at the desk. And Mike, this is a plan announced by the governor today, right?
Yeah, that's right, Juan. We're talking about the city of San Bernardino here, where they, according to the state, their violent crime rate is nearly double the state average. Their homicide rate, they say, is nearly triple the state average. That's why the CHP is coming in to help the San Bernardino City Police Department deal with some of these issues, who, by the way, the San Bernardino City Police Department says that their crime is actually almost the lowest it has been in quite some time, including murders, which they say are down 33% year over year. Still, they are getting the help from the CHP to deal with sideshows, street takeovers, gun violence, and other types of violent crime that are happening throughout the city. The CHP will be there on the ground and in the air to help bust up some of these sideshows. Today, Governor Gavin Newsom made the announcement.
This is about, as the commissioner said, getting guns off the street. This is about getting illegal cars back in the possession of the rightful owners. This is about sideshows, which they've been cracking down on, including in Oakland. We made some announcements last week on some of the progress there. And it's about sending a message that we're just not going to tolerate some of the behavior that we started to see.
And one, there will be a visible presence of these CHP's officers, but there will also be a background presence of them as well, as they help the city of San Bernardino with some investigations and doing some of that back-end type detective work.
They need the help. All right, Mike, thank you. Parts of SoCal getting a soaking tonight. Maybe you saw some of it. KCAL meteorologist Evelyn Taft has the rain now in your next weather forecast, Ev.
Yep, that's exactly right. In fact, we're still seeing a soaking one as we get a look at satellite radar. Really incredible. We've been talking about this tropical moisture and this chance of showers earlier today. So we did see some showers, and now we're seeing more even tonight over the IE. And we're looking at yellow and even a little bit of orange on your screen, meaning heavier rain coming through the 215 right there, the 210 corridor, Rialto into San Bernardino. So this cell continuing to push off to the east quickly. Actually, it's moved over a little bit. And actually what I want to do live on the air right now, I actually want to go ahead and track this cell for you and just kind of zoom in a little bit, show you exactly what's happening. So it's continuing to move to the east, and so we're just catching up with it right there, and you will see some heavier rain coming in over San Bernardino. That's what the yellow is on your screen right there. Again, along the 210, the 215 as you make your way into Arrowhead and up into the mountains. We're looking at some heavier rain as well, like Arrowhead into Crestline along the 18. And I do want to tell you, above 6,000 feet, we're certainly looking at the chance of snow flurries. We're looking at a little bit of a flurry right there closer to Big Bear. Bear with me, and you will see just a little bit of a flurry there. And again, this is above 6,000 feet. So really incredible. We did see that rain. We did see a little bit of that snow. We are looking at wind, and that's really been peaking in the evening hours and peaking right now. In fact, 17-mile-per-hour winds for Santa Clarita, 30 for Palmdale, 17 for Wrightwood, 17 for Big Bear, and 22 miles per hour for Temecula at the moment. And as we get a look at your next weather, what we are watching forecast, you're going to see right here, I'm going to step off and show you below average temperatures, a chance of drizzle or even light showers, and then gusty westerly to northerly winds expected with another chance of rain coming in this weekend. That's exactly right. So your rain chances looking a bit like this. You will see things are pretty much calm after today. So really, we've been contending with the rain and yes, the wind, and then things get a little drier, calmer. We're done with that tropical moisture, but then we're looking at a pretty decent chance of rain coming in over the weekend, Saturday into Sunday. You will notice, though, Halloween is looking mostly dry at this point. Temperatures currently very cool, and we're getting cooler tonight. In fact, 40s and 50s. But take a look at what happens in our mountain desert communities as that cold air filters in. No surprise we're seeing snow above 6,000 feet because we're just seeing those temperatures really plummet. 29 degrees in Wrightwood, 21 in Big Bear. We haven't talked numbers like this in quite a while. 37 in Lancaster, 44 in Santa Clarita. And as you get out the door tomorrow morning for the IE, you'll see 50s with sunshine, 69 by the afternoon. So really a mild day for us. 60s all around town with a few 70s coming in. And quick look at your trick-or-treat forecast right here. I'm going to step off and show you what you can expect for the valleys by the time we head into Thursday. It will be dry with 60s expected. Yep, that's right. So a beautiful Halloween for us. Just a little chill in the air, and of course that feels appropriate. Next 7 days looking like this, 60s with a chance of rain as we hit the weekend. Juan, back to you.
All righty, Evelyn, thank you. And we're learning how many North Korean troops have moved into Russia. Pentagon giving us an update on the military buildup sounding alarm bells in Washington. And some good news for air travelers ahead of the busy holiday travel season. The new projections against travel disruptions.
KCAL News is sponsored by Nissan. Shop nissanusa.com for great offers.
The Pentagon says North Korea has sent about 10,000 troops to Russia to train and fight in Ukraine. Some of those soldiers have already moved closer to Ukraine, according to the Pentagon. They say the U.S. is increasingly concerned that Russia plans to use the soldiers in combat operations against Ukrainian forces. It comes after NATO said some of the North Korean troops have already been deployed in the Kursk border region. That's where Russia has been struggling to push back a Ukrainian incursion. And just in time for the holiday travel season, new rules are going into effect for U.S. airlines that aim to ease the travel anxiety over travel disruptions. Instead of vouchers, airlines are now required to provide cash refunds to passengers for a significantly delayed or canceled flight. The airline industry was initially against the change, but a group of airline lobbyists say it now supports the refund rule.
I'm assignment editor Mike Rogers here at the desk. Federal investigators will be at ballot places come Election Day. What they're doing there and what they're hoping to avoid ahead.
All right, Mike, and coming up in sports with Jamie Maggio, more from New York, where the Dodgers took a commanding 3-0 lead in the World Series. Now at 9, ballot boxes set on fire days before the election. This happened early this morning in Oregon and Washington State, where hundreds of ballots were destroyed. A security camera picked up photos of the suspect's car, but so far, no arrests. Last week, a mailbox in Phoenix was set on fire and a few ballots were damaged there. A 35-year-old man has been charged with arson in that case. Well, here at home, the feds say they have a presence at polling centers all across SoCal. KCAL News assignment editor Mike Rogers at the desk now. And Mike, what are the plans for them?
Yeah, Juan, these are federal prosecutors that will be across 7 Southern California counties, and their goal is to get involved immediately if there is any claims of election interference or anything at a polling place that may cause some issues. And it comes at a time that the Department of Homeland Security is also putting out a warning about what they call threat actors, saying that there are people who will likely try to use any kind of issues that may happen at a polling place to spark outrage online that could elevate the country's threats system here as we approach Election Day. Obviously, there's been a lot of focus about mail-in ballots and vote-by-mail ballots that are causing some concern when you talk about these threat actors. Meanwhile, the Department of Justice here will have these prosecutors, these federal prosecutors, throughout polling places across Southern California to make sure that any complaints, any allegations, anything like that is handled immediately and hopefully swiftly and without any further issue that could then give the opportunity for these threat actors to step on in. So that was a bulletin from the Department of Homeland Security obtained by CBS News. One, this is something they do all across the country. They do it every election cycle, and this year is no different.
Let's hope it all works. Okay, Mike, thanks. An actor from LA has learned his fate today for his role in the January 6th attack. A judge sentenced Jay Johnston to a year in prison after he pleaded guilty to a felony offense of obstructing officers during a civil disorder. Prosecutors say someone gave Johnston a stolen police riot shield during the attack, which he then used to push against officers who were blocking a tunnel to the Capitol. Along with a role in Arrested Development, Johnston also appeared in Better Call Saul and voiced a character on Bob's Burgers. Well, it's been 1 year now since actor Matthew Perry was found dead at his home in Pacific Palisades. As KCAL's Jasmine Veal reports, Perry's family marked the somber occasion today by advocating for his addiction foundation.
Hey, anybody know a good tailor?
You need some clothes altered?
No, I'm just looking for a man to draw on me with chalk.
Actor Matthew Perry was just 54 years old when he was found unresponsive and face down in his pool last October. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office ruled that the Friends star's cause of death was due to the acute effects of ketamine.
Matthew's dead.
In an interview that aired Monday on NBC's Today Show, Perry's mother, Suzanne Morrison, spoke about Perry's final days and her struggle not to blame herself for her son's addiction.
He came up to me and he said, I love you so much, and I'm so happy to be with you now. And it was almost as though it was a premonition or something. I didn't think about it at the time, but I thought, how long has it been since we've had a conversation like that.
Morrison says she was worried about Perry, but others believed he was still sober. 5 people have been indicted and charged in connection with Perry's death in what federal prosecutors say was a broad underground criminal network to distribute large quantities of ketamine to Perry. One San Diego doctor, Mark Chavez, had already pleaded guilty in federal court. In the interview, Morrison said she was thrilled that charges have been filed, and they hope Perry's experience will be a lesson to others. Jasmine Veal, KCAL News.
Thanks for watching KCAL News at 9. KCAL News at 10 starts right now.